Huh. That picture wasn't yesterday. No, I'm thinking about something. Something still doesn't seem right here.
Hello everyone, my name is Masterstarman and welcome back for more Let's Play Ratchet & Clank 2 Going Commando! Welcome to Let's Play Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. This game is a lot of fun.
Hey, hello everyone! My name is Masterstarman, and yes, I'm back. I know this is gonna sound like an absolutely, like, what kind of thing for me to say, but yeah, I'm back. I remember this time 2 years ago, which was my 10-year anniversary doing this kind of thing. I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day after I do one more LP that I said was going to be really, really, really ambitious. And it was. It was definitely one of the most ambitious LPs I've ever underdone. And some time went on. Some stuff happened. And, yeah, I kind of just thought about some things, and the more I thought about it, I was like, you know, I kind of miss doing Let's Playing. There was a lot of nights where I was just kind of, when I had off time from work, I just didn't really have anything to go on. Like, I wasn't really doing much of anything if I wasn't playing Smash Ultimate. Yeah. So, yeah, I kind of just have a little bit of a jot list of, like, things that I kind of wanted to go over here, so I'm just gonna get started on that, because this is gonna be, it's gonna be both, like, an important video, like, it's an important, like, announcement video to make, but yes, my next two Let's Plays are both sequels, the second games in the series of Ratchet & Clank and Castlevania of Sorrow games. In this case, Ratchet & Clank 2 Going Commando and Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Dawn of Sorrow is a game I've wanted to do for over 11 years now. I said in my original Let's Play of Aria of Sorrow that at some point I was going to do that game. And there was a number of reasons why I kind of announced, like, a short-lived retirement when I did, besides just the whole wanting to end things after a good 10 years. My biggest reason for why I said that at the time was, I mentioned this many times before, but in mid-2017, I guess you could say got stricken. That sounds like a more harsh way of wording things, but I ended up, my hands basically started hurting like hell, and I went to a doctor eventually, and he told me that I had tendonitis in both my hands, and I did not know, like, what could have been done or what was to be done about that. And, like, it was a slow recovery process that probably went on, even during into the Nuts and Bolts LP. Like, to tell you the truth, most of Nuts and Bolts was recorded with me taking an Xbox controller, like, I'll grab an Xbox 360 controller right here, I would be playing it, and I would have two ice pack, cryo ice packs on my lap, and, like, with the Xbox controller in my hand resting on two ice packs. That was most of the Nuts and Bolts LP, and in retrospect, it was a little bit ridiculous. Also, a lot of ibuprofen. So, yeah, it's, yeah. If there's one thing that hasn't changed in the last little while, it's been my love for tea. I wanna make one thing, and one thing extremely clear here. I want this to be known right now. Ain't no way in am I doing this for the money. I just want that to be clear right now. I'm not doing this to make zilch out of, like, monetization or anything. I'm not doing this because some person offered me a lot of money to return. I'm not doing this for some half-baked prophecy thing or anything, really. I'm doing this purely because I want to do this. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. I've missed doing these things, and I don't want this to turn into just a one-off thing. After Ratchet & Clank 2 and Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, I have at least half a dozen games planned, and I'll say some more of those things, like, maybe further in the video, or some other plans for some things, but I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. This is not just some one-and-done reunion thing. This is it's me coming out of a retirement way sooner than I thought I was ever going to. Yeah. So, if there's one person at all I need to honestly thank, though, about doing this, it's my friend and sometimes frequent partner in crime, Darren. You may know Darren from some of the Mario Kart Let's Plays. He was with me for Mario Kart 64, Double Dash, 8 Deluxe. He's been a pretty frequent guest throughout a lot of the channel's history. Anyway, yeah, so there was a point sometime last year where he kind of was asking me why I just decided to stop, and even was kind of thrown off by my decision. And when I told him that, like, I was never going to return, he kind of, like, pushed me towards kind of wanting to return, and I didn't really take him too seriously, because, with all due respect, sometimes I don't take him too seriously. If you're watching this, Darren, I'm sorry, I'm not out of hard feelings, but you know how it is. But yeah, he kind of nudged me in some directions towards that, and at the time, I didn't think much of it, but, you know, as some more time went on, you know, there was a lot of things that I thought were going to happen that never did in, like, earlier years. That was kind of why I said that 2018 would be my last year doing things. And, you know, in a way, yeah, it does. Like, there was so much of that did feel like a finale, but I've done this stuff now for nearly 12 years. That's a long, long, long time. People don't realize that at all, but 12 years is not a short amount of time to be doing something. And it's kind of a weird part of YouTube's history, because there's so many people I've seen now that are like, oh, I'm jumping ship because COPA is gonna ruin me, I can't make money off of this because YouTube's thinking my videos are for kids and all this other stuff. And I'm sure some people have probably wondered, like, is this going to affect me in any way? And the short answer, I'm not going anywhere. The long answer, are you f***ing kidding me? This is a perfect time to jump back in. Like, I'm not even trying to be, like, exaggerated or take pot shots or anything like that, but if there's one way to prove I'm not doing this for the money, it's to jump in and say I'm returning to Let's Playing in the middle of a giant dumpster fire. So, yeah. Yeah. And Darren, if you're watching this again, thank you. And I'll probably buy you another cup of Tim's next time I'm around, so, yeah. So yeah, I guess now I might as well reminisce on I know it's a weird thing to bring up here, but man, 10 years ago, it's been 10 years since 2010, and like I know that sounds like a no-brainer thing to say, but like, man, I cannot believe how fast this decade went by, and just, you know, some of the things that happened in that decade. If there was one year that was easily like the biggest jumpstart for me as a YouTuber, though, it was definitely that year. I still can't believe like so much of the things that had happened in that. I think I had started a number of Let's Plays that year, and I completed at least 6. I want to at least like back up there first. 2010 was the first year I actually finished like Let's Plays that I had started, because prior to that point, there was a lot of times I started Let's Plays and then stopped, and tried to do Let's Plays and just stopped and whatnot, but 2010 was the first year I completed not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 LPs. One of them was 2 of them were started prior to that point. One of them was my old Let's Play Mario 64 DS. That started as far back as 2008. It shouldn't have taken me almost 2 years to complete that. I just got lazy near the end of it, and I don't really have a good reason why. And Metroid Prime, that was a game that should not have taken me 6 months to Let's Play, but I kind of just had a little bit of a lazy schedule for the first, like, few months of that. But after that was kind of when my bearings, like, I kind of got my, like, once my gears finally started turning, you know, that summer I Let's Played 3 games at the same time, and they were really, I mean, 2 of them are kind of short games, but one of them was, the 3 games were Super Mario 64, GoldenEye 007, and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Oot is not a short game. That was, well, it's like, okay, it's not long, but you gotta also keep in mind here, this was a time when YouTube still had a 10-minute time limit. In fact, I'll back up here in this one as well. One of the biggest changes for YouTube as a whole was in the summer of 2010, they made it so that they changed the time limit from being 11 minutes to being, or I guess 10 minutes and 59 seconds to be technical, to being 15 minutes and 30 seconds. And that was a huge thing. I can't even stress enough about that. Like, if you have no idea how, like, big and important that was, like, God, I can't, I couldn't even imagine, like, imagine any, like, Let's Play you watch nowadays. Imagine if any video had to be under 11 minutes in length. You pretty much couldn't. Because, especially now, there's been so many people that have come in the last decade that, like, didn't grow up when YouTube had this old time limit. It basically meant, 4.5 minutes doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when I'm playing a game like Mario 64, you know, that's potentially an extra star or 2 I can get in a video, or in Zelda Oot's case, like, that's a lot of extra progress I can make in just a single video. It was a really, like, groundbreaking thing to have happen back then. So, yeah, and then, like, once those things, that was kind of like, at the time, I guess you could call it kind of like, I was gonna make a really dumb music analogy, but I doubt anyone would really get the reference I'm making. I was gonna say, it was kind of like my London Calling era, to compare it to Clash albums, because that was like a really big album for their time. But then, immediately after that, they decided to follow up with an album called Sandernista, I think was the next album of The Clash. And that was an even bigger and more ambitious album, although not as widely well-received, I think. And that's kind of, like, similarly what I went for at the time, because after Mario 64 and Zelda Oot finished, and GoldenEye 2, I jumped in and started trying to do 4 LPs at the same time. Guess how many of them finished by the end of 2010? Yeah, just 1. So, yeah, yeah, two of those Let's Plays went on to just be, like, postponed and, like, resumed in early 2011. And, one of those LPs, the other of that, the one LP of that I didn't really mention there, I know some people, if you look back in the history, might wonder where the fourth one came from, but if you watch, like, any other video around that era, you might remember me talking about this. I did want to do a Let's Play of Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap back then, and that's still a game that I really want to do. I mentioned it even in my my 10-year anniversary video. That was a Let's Play I wanted to do in 2017, but after the tendonitis thing, that was kind of, like, put on hold. I'm thinking at some point later this year. That's almost a certainty, maybe. I haven't really thought about, like, the scheduling and, like, exactly what order I want to do what games, but that's an almost certainty at this point to say that. If not this year, then by early next year at the latest. But yeah, so that's definitely been a game that like, I want to give a chance at some point again. And yeah, so what happened with the original Let's Play was that at the time I was asked to join a collab channel on YouTube called The Friendly LPers, and I don't even really know exactly what happened, but, like, it just kind of fizzled out. That was the era of, like, group collab channels, and they, like, almost every single one, even the big ones, basically burned out at some point. Like, I can't really think of that many big ones that haven't really, and, like, I'm talking more, well, it was kind of like more of, I don't want to say, like, Ninbuzz, which I don't even think is even a thing anymore. If it is, I haven't heard of Ninbuzz in a long time, but, like, coincidentally, I think 2010 is actually when Ninbuzz started too, but, kind of like community channels like that, but just not really, community channels like that, but just less, like, random community uploads and more just, like, a group of LPers uploading to one single channel, I guess you could say. Anyways, I wanted to do Minish Cap on that, and I got through the first, I want to say 6 or 7 videos. I'm actually curious if that channel still exists. Here we go, dropping every game I have here. Let's see here. Does Friendly LPers still exist? Yes, it does. Yeah, so, like, I believe there was, I'm just looking at this here. There was a Let's Play of Sly Cooper that was started a good while ago. There was a Let's Play of Ape Escape 3 started. I think that was by my friend, I don't know what he currently goes by now. He used to go by Viper5787. I don't know what his current username is, and, like, I know he changes his name a lot on Discord, but you know who you are. Thank you for the continued support, man. It's been, like, if I find the username, I'll definitely attach, like, what it actually is in the thing here. Yeah, Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap was something I was doing at the time. It seems like I got 4 videos into the LP. I thought I got, like, 6 videos into it, but maybe it was only around 4. It wasn't, like, a super, super huge amount, but it's actually a little bit nostalgic looking back through the Friendly LPers channel again. Like, that's actually not something I had in my notes from this video, but it's definitely an interesting, like trip down memory lane anyway. So yeah, some other things that happened in 2010 though. there was a period late in the year where my Wii broke. Like, the disc reader just stopped reading altogether, and eventually I was just kind of left without my Wii. Thankfully, the LP I was doing at the time was Super Mario Sunshine, but I didn't have any sort of, like, fancier capture card at the time, so I was still using my Dazzle then, and, so the Dazzle would only take, like, composite video, so I recorded GameCube footage from composite, and that's what I did for the rest of that LP. So that was fine. But then late in the year, that was when things actually kind of got interesting, because it was actually late 2010 when I began the strangest, most bizarrest success I've ever had with this damn channel. I don't know why this game became as popular as it did, this Let's Play became as popular as it did, but thank you guys anyway for making it really memorable anyway. So yeah, there was... And even then, though, like, it was... I mean, that was kind of around the time where, like, a lot of my teenage innocence kind of started, like... A lot of stuff just kind of became memorable to me. I remember weird certain nights, like... You know, there was one night where me and some friends were just walking around, and one of my friends found, like, it was like a wind-up camera, like a disposable camera, and it didn't have any film in it, but he kept winding it up, and it was like, this was like middle of October maybe, so like it was starting to get kind of cool out and starting to get a little bit darker, and he would just like flash, the camera flash still worked, but there just wasn't any film, so he kept rolling it up and just randomly flashing us, and there was other just dumb stuff, like at one point, one of us threw a pumpkin at it, like, a school, like, light, and, it wasn't, like, a huge vandalism thing or anything, it was just some, like, random pumpkin that was lying on the ground there, and someone got the bright idea to throw it at a light, and the light just came on, which we didn't know, and we took off running after that. It wasn't like we never got caught, or it wasn't anything, like, super serious, but it was, you know, just kids being idiots, basically. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm trying to think of what other, like, it was definitely just a memorable time in my life, though, it definitely was. You know, I'm kind of like, if there's one story I'm circling around right now that some people might know anyway, and it's something that, I don't want to dwell on this, because it's something that's, in a way, not really that important, but, like, I've told this story before that, like, two of my best friends who were sisters, moved away that summer, and, you know, I've been in touch a little bit anyway. I don't want to say, like, a whole lot, and I don't really want to get into it, because it's not really, like, any business of anything, but, like, I just want to say that, like, you know, just for, like, a record's sake, like, it was the summer of 2010 when that happened, so, you know, in a way, there's a lot of, like, strange nostalgic memories between that as well, and even just the games that came out that year in general, like, you know, Mario Galaxy 2, Halo Reach, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like, there was a lot of great games that came out that year, especially for the Wii, like, God, you couldn't have asked for a better year for the Wii, between, like, Galaxy 2 and No More Heroes 2 and Kirby's Epic Yarn, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Sonic Colors, GoldenEye for the Wii, Epic Mickey, like, Red Steel 2, I'm surprised I didn't lump that in with the other twos, but yeah, there was a lot of, it was a very great time to be a fan of the Wii. But yeah, I'm just kind of, like, reminiscing now anyway. So yeah, if you're kind of interested in whatever my future, like, Let's Plays might end up being, yeah, I mean, I've done, like, a fair bit of thinking here, and not to be too, like, I don't want to give away exactly what all my future LP plans are, but, like, just some other, like, occasions here, believe it or not, Dawn of Sorrow and Ratchet and Clank 2 weren't the two games that I was even, like, thinking of announcing this comeback with. I'll just say right now, there's a certain game this year that is getting a remake at some point, and I'll just say that right now. People are possibly going to ask me to do a Let's Play of that game, because it's something I Let's Played on my channel, it's something that was really popular on my channel, and I just want to state straight up for the record, yes, I will be doing a Let's Play of that game when it comes out. I don't have any more to say on that matter. If you think you know what it is, you probably do know what it is, so, yeah, but besides that, one series I would really like to get back to is, I randomly Let's Played some of the Mega Man games before, but I only Let's Played, I Let's Played 4, like, 9 years ago almost, and I Let's Played Mega Man 3 just on a whim. Like, both those games were just kind of on a whim games just because I enjoyed them. I never Let's Played Mega Man 1 or 2. I've never Let's Played, like, anything after that, besides Mega Man X1. And we live in an era now where I have all those collections on my Switch right now. And, yeah, I think that it might be time to revisit some of those games, so at some point expect some of those Let's Plays will be really, really short, so just kind of expect some in-between Mega Man stuff between some much bigger projects. So in between two bigger LPs, I might do, like, Mega Man 1 and 2, I might do Mega Man 5 and 6 at some point, like, further down in the year. Maybe later in the year or early next year, I'll probably do Mega Man 7 and 8. You get the picture. But, yeah, so, yeah, and then, like, Minish Cap's another likely Let's Play. There's a few older games that I would honestly like to do Let's Plays of as well. Some that, like, I've been kind of weirdly, like, unsure about, because there's always, like, these notions of, like, if a game may or may not get some sort of HD remaster, and, like, it's kind of putting me in this wary state of, like, you know, in a way, I kind of want to do one of these games, but, like, I don't know if the game's gonna get, like, some sort of remaster or not. Like, I'll just say straight up for the record, Metroid Prime is one of them, Mario Galaxy's another, you know, there's just a number of those that, like, I wouldn't mind doing, like, replays of at some point. But yeah, there's just other games, too, that I would think of that might be worth, like, taking a look at some other times, too. I mean, obviously going back to the Mega Man stuff, we also got the Mega Man X games, and, like, since then when the Legacy Collections came out, I've been playing those almost non-stop, and yeah, hell, I'd be down for doing those Mega Man X games. Heck, there's even some of my favorite games of all time that I've still never done Let's Plays of. There's a certain fighting game franchise that I really, really adore, and I still have not, like, done any sort of, like, proper Let's Play series on that. And yeah, there's definitely a lot more, like, open options than what has ever been before, that's definitely for certain. So, yeah, at this rate, though, I don't plan to be going away anytime soon. So, yeah. And lastly, because I'm sure I should have probably addressed this already, but Mystery Game is definitely coming back. I had so much fun doing Mystery Game whenever I had that series running, and yeah, there's a lot of things I could seriously do for that. Like, I've picked up a lot of just random stuff that I could definitely do for a Mystery Game, and there's some games, actually, that I kind of want to make one small change to Mystery Game, and I think this is going to be a good thing. I might start doing occasionally themed months for Mystery Game. So, one month you might get a fighting game month, which is something that I do want to do because there's a lot of fighting games I could seriously cover on Mr. Game that I want to cover at some point. Like, maybe I might play Street Fighter one week, and then next week I might play Mark of the Wolves, or next week I might play Mortal Kombat, or next week I might play Killer Instinct, or whatever I decide to do, really. Like, that's definitely a strong possibility. Or I might do a Sega Genesis month, where I could honestly do several of them, because I have I don't know if you can see it in the picture or not. I have the Sega Genesis Mini, Sega Genesis Classic, whatever you want to call it, Sega Genesis Mini, Sega Genesis Mini. I have this here. I could seriously make Mr. Game videos for, like, a long time out of most of these, because out of every game that's on here, I think I've only ever Let's Played 2 games out of this. I was about to say 1, but then I forgot Mega Man 3 is technically part of this through Wily Wars, but yeah. I think Gunstar Heroes is on this. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Yeah, Gunstar Heroes is. Okay, I was gonna say. That was a really, really fun Let's Play. If you have not seen the Gunstar Heroes LP, you should go check that one out. What can I say? It's good to be back, man. It's really good to be back. So yeah. I'm just checking my notes to see if I have anything else here. Yeah, I think that's mostly about it. And lastly, I guess, thank you so much for, thank you so much for just 12 years of my life. That it really does mean the world. And I say this all the time, but 12 years is seriously, like, such an incredible feeling that every year it kind of gets more and more, but, you know, it really is such a wonderful feeling to know that, you know, things like this have happened now for as long as they have, and it still just kind of blows my mind thinking, you know, just how the nature of time works, I guess, and just kind of how everything all kind of played out in a long time. Like, do I have regrets? Yeah, but honestly, I wouldn't really trade this for anything else. So, I sincerely do thank you guys a lot. With all that being said, thank you for watching. Welcome back. I've been Masterstarman, and I'll see you guys on... I forgot to announce any sort of my schedule, but yeah. Ratchet & Clank will be uploaded on... Ratchet & Clank's going to be uploaded on Mondays and Thursdays. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow will be uploaded on Tuesdays and Fridays. Different schedule, I know, but I'm doing 2 Let's Plays at a time instead of 1, which is not always what I usually do, so bear with that on that one. That's why there's only 2 videos a week on on each LP. So, thank you for watching this pretty long video, but it means a lot. Seriously, thank you guys. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.